might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only owner, or at least I used to be. 'Cause now a wildfire is raging deep inside, and my heartstrings are pulling like the tide. And the match that drew a spark was a single stolen kiss. And if that ain't love, I don't know what is. For years I've kept my feelings grounded and gone without, all kept within. By these high walls I've been surrounded.
Hey everyone, I'm Calvin with Southern Country Living.
And I'm Marie.
We hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend. This is our Sunday chat for May the 4th of 2025. And can you believe it's May already, Marie?
No, but we have a lot of different things going on in May.
Oh, we do, don't we? I hadn't even thought about that. But for the people that don't know, May, of course, is Mother's Day. And then Marie's birthday is just right after Mother's Day. So
yeah, I'll be 72.
72, wow.
It'll take me a while to get to learn to say 72. I'll be saying I'm 71 for a while. But I'll be 72.
Well, you look good for 72, Marie.
Well, I feel pretty good most of the time. I have a few little hiccups here and there, but I think I'm doing pretty good for 72.
I think we all do, don't we?
Yeah, and we also have an anniversary
Yeah.
coming up. And how many years is it? I always get that messed up.
This year will be 54 years.
54 years,
And,
wow.
And our
I
anniversary.
don't know how he's put up with me that long, 54 years, and it actually longer than that because we've known each other ever since we were 15. And we actually started dating when I was 16, and that's when we started going together. And then we dated for a while, but about
2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years before we got married. And so Calvin's been in misery ever since.
Now, those are your words. I've never said that.
I know it. I'm just having a little fun with you.
Well, today we're dealing with a lot of rain and storms moving through. We're recording this on Saturday morning, but you'll see it on Sunday morning. But the storms are all across the southern United States and southeast and up into the north, and just a lot of storms moving through.
Yeah,
and
it's that time of year, isn't it?
It is. We get storms constantly. And about 5 minutes ago, I heard a real loud clap of thunder. So
yeah.
If it thunders, don't be surprised.
And I notice a lot of people, when I'm watching YouTube channels, they'll just hear a little clap of thunder and they'll jump, and I thought, man, they ought to be down here in Georgia where it really, it's really booming in.
It'll wake you up for sure.
Right.
And before you do the devotion, I just want to mention our roses here on the counter with us. These are the roses that we picked yesterday afternoon.
And they're just beautiful. I've been enjoying them so much.
Yeah, it's nice to have your own fresh roses growing out in your front yard.
It really is.
Okay, Marie, today's devotion is on Matthew 6:25, and it's entitled Worry-Free Zone.
Yeah, I usually have it bookmarked. Okay. Like Kevin said, it's worry-free zone. And then it's Matthew 6:25. It says, "Do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. And so the devotion says, worry is a big speed bump in life. It can easily wiggle into your thoughts. You can try to fight it, but Satan knows where your weakness is. Boy, if that's not the truth. He likes to plant seeds of worry about your family. I'll agree with that. And your lifestyle, your job, your health, and whatever it might be. In tough economic times, some worry is about basic things, and we are definitely going through those kind of times right now. We worry about food, shelter, and clothing. That worry pulls you away from trusting God. Jesus says that you don't need to worry about any of it. Though, while those things do matter to us, there is a bigger thing to be concerned about. Knowing Him, serving Him, and loving Him. And that's so true. And then down at the bottom it says, what worry keeps you awake in the middle of the night? And then it says, most worries are over things that never happen. And that's so true. And it says, most are things over which you have no control, and that's so true, especially right now. It says, how can you gain control over worries? And this is really a good advice right here. It says, admit them and give them to Jesus and let them go. And that's what I strive to do, and I have to work on it daily. Okay, Kevin, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
You covered that real good, Marie, and that's a very good devotion for what's going on right now in our world. And like Jesus said, don't worry about what you can't control. But what you do want to worry about is, are you saved and are you prepared to go to heaven?
Right.
That's the most important thing in my mind. Jesus, or God, gave us common sense to prepare for some things that we can control a little bit. An example of that, in Genesis 41, Joseph stored up grain for 7 years. And then also in Genesis 6 through 9, Noah, he built the ark preparing for the flood. So, God does give us common sense to do a few things to prepare for some of the worst situations that can happen. And in our case, we've been preppers for probably close to 20 years or more, haven't we, Marie?
Yes.
We was really big into it when we were younger.
I have to admit, though, our long-term storage has dwindled down. We don't do that as much as we used to. Now we just keep maybe about 6 months supply.
Yeah, that's it.
So if any thing happens extremely bad, we're all going to be in trouble. That's the way I look at it. And at our age now, like I said, 20 years ago, we were prepping for trying to take care of ourselves for 20 years. And we did pretty good at it. And there was a time in our life, right before I retired, when I first quit working, there was 9 months that we had to live without any income whatsoever until I started drawing my Social Security. And during that 9 months, we ate off of our prepping food, and we had a little cash and savings, and so that was how we paid our utility bills and things like that, and insurance and stuff. Right.
But we were prepared as good as we could be at that particular time. Now we live off of Social Security, and a lot of the seniors that are there now are working part-time jobs.
And that's what we do on YouTube.
That's exactly what YouTube is for us, is a part-time job.
We wouldn't have any extra money if we were living off of our Social Security like we had did
for several years, yes.
And then we got into, we were into YouTube, and it helped us along a little bit. But without YouTube, we don't depend on YouTube for anything. Our house is paid off. We don't owe any bills at all. But our YouTube money we give to the Lord. We give to charity. I'm not tooting my own horn, but this is what we do. We save some and then we have extra to spend. But YouTube is up and down situation. You don't always have the same income.
No.
Some months you might have more. And so the whole time we've been married, we never had any extra. We were always just living on the edge, weren't we?
Living on the edge, living day to day.
Right.
And but now that we're retired, I should have brought my budget book in here, but I've got a budget book that I do once a month, every month. It's pretty basically the same thing. Mm-hmm. But we make sure that we live under that budget, and the only income that we depend on for that budget is our Social Security.
Yeah, we don't depend on YouTube because you don't never know about YouTube.
Yeah, and like Marie said, our YouTube money is extra money, and you see us making these trips to Piccadilly quite often, and you see us going.
We never did anything like that, did we?
No.
Before, we never went to any restaurant. Our restaurant would be McDonald's or Burger King.
Well, we're still very conservative on how we spend our money.
We are.
But, our YouTube money is for extra things. We love to spend time with our grandkids and spend money on them. Just lots of things that we do. So a few people made comments, how do you spend that much money? Well, we don't feel like we spend that much money.
No, we don't. And we don't. We're not well off. We drive an old car.
Yeah.
It's in good shape and it looks nice and all, but we don't drive brand new trucks or brand new cars. We don't live in a YouTube house. We're just average people making it day to day.
We're just average, yeah.
And if you see us spending a little bit, that's new to us. We never had it to spend. And like I say, we do save. That's good advice. Give to charity, save, and if you whatever you have extra, you can buy what you want to.
And that's what we do.
And we're not bragging or anything. We're sharing our everyday life. Now it was not our everyday life before we started doing better in YouTube.
Oh yeah, when I was working, I worked 7 days a week most of the time, and I worked constantly, didn't I?
Yes.
But I took care of us. That's what was important.
But we're thankful for what we do have now, and when we were able to go out and eat a lot and all, we really it was new to us, wasn't it? And
to do it as much as we do now.
Yes, and so we know a lot of YouTubers do it, and they make videos about it, and so it's what we've been doing lately, so we're just sharing our life.
Yeah, and that's one reason we do it, is to make videos also.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll change the subject just a little bit here. First thing I want to talk about is let you know about my brother Gerald. He is doing really good. Now, I have not got to see Gerald this entire week. Mm-hmm. We talked to the nursing home right after our Sunday chat from last week, and we found out that Gerald had been, he tested positive for RSV. And I hope I got those initials correct. But it's a type of a lung infection, and it has symptoms similar to COVID, but it's not as bad as COVID. So they did put Gerald in a isolation room, and he had to stay in the isolation room for several days. Mm-hmm. But Gerald is out of isolation now. And I talked to my sister, Janet, right before we started this Sunday chat. And she went over and seen Gerald this morning. And she said Gerald is in real good spirits. And she said Gerald is just joking like you've never known him to joke. He was just so happy. She gave a couple of examples.
That's part of his personality, though.
Oh, he loves to joke and cut up. And I can't remember all the things that he's. One thing that he said, she asked him if he had a good breakfast and what he had to eat. And his reply was, I had some hog jaws and some turtles. And said then he just started cracking up laughing, and he thought that was so funny. And of course he was joking about that. But now Gerald does love hog jaws. Yeah. And I love hog jaws too. I usually only buy them around the first of the year. but I do love hog jaws too, and our whole family does.
Yeah, it's really good in turnip greens and
Oh, yeah.
collards.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's about the only weird food that we eat. That
Oh yeah, and Gerald,
Yeah.
she said, Gerald also said, but he wished he had some pig's feet,
oh
pickled pig's feet.
we don't go that route, do
No,
we?
I don't care for those, but I know a lot of people do like the
Yes.
pickled pig's feet.
Yeah.
And Gerald used to like them. I don't know if he still does. He hadn't had them in a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting food out there that I see people eat on YouTube, and so, I guess it's what you get used to, and your what you're brought up doing.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing I want to tell you about on the merchandise. Now, if you ordered merchandise, we appreciate it so much. And everything was supposed to be shipped by April the 30th. But the company that makes the shirts, they had a slight delay from their supplier in getting some of the different merchandise. They didn't tell me which ones. But because of that delay, they were able to ship some of the merchandise Friday, and they say the rest of it should be shipped out Monday. So I'm sure you haven't received any merchandise yet, but hopefully you'll be getting it in the very next few days. And I apologize for them having a delay, but they could not control it. They're a small company, but they are a big company in the sense that they ship all over the United States. Mm-hmm. And they make shirts for all the major, or a lot of the major NFL teams and basketball teams and schools and colleges all across. And so they're very, very big in that sense. So we're actually lucky to have them doing our merchandise for us. Mm-hmm. And if you've bought it before, you know that the merchandise is very good quality. Mm-hmm. That's what we like about the best. Marie, you're actually wearing your Southern Country Living hat today.
Yeah, all this rain has got my hair all frizzed up.
Yeah, look at mine. Mine, it's going crazy this morning.
Did we do this already?
Okay, we did get one card this week, so let's let Marie do the card before we go any further.
Yeah, we didn't get very much mail this week, but I did get one from Jean Hickle. I think I pronounced that right. And she lives in Kernersville, North Carolina. And I like this is the card she sent. And I like what it says. Advice from a sea turtle. Swim with the current. Be a good navigator. Stay calm under pressure. Be well traveled. Think long term. Age gracefully. I'm trying. I'll tell you one thing. Aging is a lot harder than when you were a teenager and you were going through puberty, or what do you call that?
Yeah.
Is that what you call it? Or what? That might be the wrong word. But anyway, when you were a teenager and you were learning different things and experiencing different things in life. But to me, that was a piece of cake to aging. Okay, and it says spend time at the beach, and boy, would I love to be doing that.
Oh, me too.
And she says that she hopes we have a wonderful Easter, and she hopes we're free from sickness, and we are doing better. Mm-hmm. And so then she sent us some recipes. She sent us a slightly fancy and really good grilled cheese sandwich recipe. And I like grilled cheese sandwiches at lunchtime. Mm-hmm. And I also like them for breakfast, so we will try this one out. Yes. And then she sent us one for a super hamburger steak. And I can't wait to try that out. I tried one of the recipes out last week that a viewer sent us, and it was we slightly changed it a little bit, but it was really good recipe too. But if you make that recipe, the name of it was
that was the caramel pecan dump cake.
Caramel pecan dump cake. And if you make that recipe, it's best eaten when it comes right out of the oven and you just scoop it right out of your pan. and put you a dollop of ice cream on it, that's when it's most delicious. But if it sits for a while, the best thing you need to do when you make that recipe is stick it in the oven and let it warm up for about 10 minutes, and then you're ready to go again, and it's just as good.
Yeah.
Yes. Otherwise, it's a little hard to get out of the pan. And when I made that, if you've seen that video, I did have a little trouble because it had set for about 30 minutes, and I'd never made that recipe before, so I didn't know that little trick. But it is a good recipe if you eat it when it's warm.
Yes. Yeah, all that caramel and all that syrup, when it cooled off, it got real hard and thick, wanted to stick.
Yes.
Okay, Marie, let me go over my notes here, make sure I don't miss anything. I think we covered everything. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go ahead and talk about our videos that we had from last week.
Okay, I already talked about the pecan caramel cake.
You did, but we'll mention it one more time. Okay, so last week, we did have 6 videos last week, and so we did real good.
Yeah, we were a little more tired than usual when we did them. We were a little rusty getting back into it, but we managed to get some out, didn't we?
We did, and it'd been so long since we'd made new videos. It was good to get back to it, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first video that we had last week was our Sunday chat, and it was entitled, "Where Have We Been?" And that's where we talked about, how we'd been sort of sick on and off for a couple of weeks there. But we're doing much better, and praise the Lord. There's nothing like being able to get up in the morning and feel like doing something instead of waking up and don't want to do anything.
Right.
Second video we had last week was now that was a throwback video. That was on Monday evening, and that was our roast beef sandwiches that you've made from some roast beef that you had cooked a couple of days before that.
Right.
Okay. The third video that we did last week was our Sam's Club and Walmart haul. Now that was a really good video. We had got up that morning. We was going to try to be out there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't get there till 1.
Yeah, we were still struggling a little bit from being sick, but we pushed through it, didn't we?
We did.
I did have to use my cart because I don't know if some of you may not know it, but I can only walk about 100 feet before my hip bothers me. If you ever see me in the store, if I walk real slow, I can get through the stores sometimes without the cart, but it just depends on how much inflammation I'm experiencing at the time. So that is the reason you will see me in the cart sometimes.
Yeah, and you were fortunate you got a cart at both of them stores.
Right.
But at the Walmart store, I was starting to really get tired, so we cut our shopping off a little early that day.
Yeah.
Okay, the next video that we did was the caramel pecan dump cake, and that was a recipe that one of our viewers had sent us, and we modified it just slightly, and I think the main thing we added different was the maple syrup.
Yeah.
And it might have turned out different if we hadn't put the maple syrup in it, but the taste of it was so good. Now, even though I did eat some of that cake, I'm always saying that I'm watching my sugar. And you might see me put a big piece of cake in my plate or my saucer, but I don't eat it all, okay? I only eat a little bit, and I do try to watch my sugar as much as I can, but I still eat sugar, and I actually prefer eating the regular sugar versus making sugar-free desserts because I just haven't been satisfied with sugar-free desserts.
No, we don't like the taste of it,
and it causes digestion problems too.
Yeah.
So I prefer just to go ahead and make it the regular way and just eat a small amount.
Yeah, I'm sorry I butted in, but some people love it and it works for them, but we're all made different, and so it's just not working for us right now.
Okay. The next video we did was our Dollar Tree shopping video, and then at the end of the video we had some clips for where we went down and seen Addison and Avery, and that video ended up being about 40 minutes long, about one of our longest videos that we've done in a long time. But I had a lot of fun making that video. I enjoyed us going into Dollar Tree. We had one of the guys that was doing the landscaping work. He seen us walking in, and if you look in the video, you'll see him coming toward me. And I wasn't thinking. I did what I always do. I turn the camera off just as we're getting in the store, and then once we get in, I turn it back on. But I turned it off before he started talking to me. But he told me, if I remember correctly, his name was Kenny. And he said that him and his brother both love watching our channel. So if you're out there watching today, Kenny, we appreciate it. And we appreciate you letting us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the last video we had was entitled Keystone Beef, the Walmart Haul Update. And what had happened when we went to Walmart that day, we were planning on getting some Keystone beef and some pork and some chicken. But that Walmart did not carry, they don't even carry the Keystone products. And they're in the same town as our other Walmart. And they're actually a bigger Walmart, but they don't even carry it. I talked to one of the employees there, and she looked it up on the computer and said, no, we don't carry it. Said, you have to order it online. Well, I went by the other Walmart, and they were just out. Our other Walmart that we normally go to, they do carry it, but they were out. So when I got home, I went online and looked it up and found it. And same price online as it is in the store. I placed an order for a total of 8 cans to be shipped to me. And the best part is I had been wanting to buy those freezer containers. And I was able to get them with the order and don't have to pay extra shipping on it. So we got all that in, and that's what that video was about. And then we did a pickup order for the other things that we were missing that we didn't get to get that day. I'm going to take a little break here and get me a little sip of my drink. So anyway, that video turned out real good. I appreciate everyone watching it. Hope you enjoyed that video. Marie, looking through here, I think we've covered everything. We had one other incident that I want to talk to you about. But first, I'm going to change my battery in my camera. Okay, I believe it was Wednesday afternoon. Marie came in there and got me, and she said, Calvin said the dryer's not drying our clothes.
And that dryer has been such a good dryer. I have had it forever.
Yeah.
I just love that dryer.
So I come in here and checked it, and I checked the filter outside to make sure that it was blowing air like it's supposed to, and it was. And then I checked the fuses to be sure that the heating element was getting electricity, and it was. And so I told Marie, I said, apparently our heating element has just finally quit working.
What brand is that?
The one that we had, our old one, was a Kenmore Elite.
Yeah.
So when we had bought it years ago, we bought one of the better dryers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I called up the company that we bought our washing machine from last week and told them I need a dryer and told them what the requirements was going to be because the area that goes is sort of small. So we wasn't able to get the matching Maytag dryer. If we got it, it was not going to fit in there. So we ended up having to get a GE dryer, and she said that was the only one they had that would fit in that particular spot for us. So we got the GE, and they delivered it on Friday afternoon, and they did a great job delivering it. It's drying clothes. It's doing fantastic. And, I'll say this, if it hadn't been for YouTube, we would have probably, we had enough savings to buy it, but YouTube is what paid for it, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And so we appreciate everyone that watches our videos. When you watch them, you help our channel grow. We're at 96,000 and about 800 and something right this minute. So we're getting real close to 97,000. We only like 3,000 more hitting 100,000. And I don't know how long that's going to take because I watched other channels. Sometimes when you get close, sometimes it goes fast and sometimes it goes slow. I remember watching one channel that was trying to reach a particular goal, and they were so close to it, and it took them like 2 years to finally get to that goal. And so I hope it don't take us 2 years to get the next 3,000, but it'll take time. You just never know. But like I said, we appreciate everyone watching.
Right. And what we do, it is a job. And so, but we enjoy it. It's more of a hobby too. But it takes a lot of work. So we really earn what we make, don't we?
Oh yeah, we earn it. There's no doubt about that.
Because we put in a lot of hard work doing it.
Yeah.
And we really enjoy our YouTube viewers, and we're so thankful for y'all. Y'all were just wonderful. And also, I hadn't did this yet, but I want everyone to remember everyone in the Purple Prayer Book this week. There's some people that have passed away, and so y'all remember the widows and the widowers, and say a special prayer for them, because it is really hard when you lose your spouse or they're going through a real serious illness. It puts stress on the whole family. So just please remember them this week also.
Amen. And I got one special prayer request, and we don't tell you everything that's going on in our life. We tell you too much sometimes, but we don't tell you everything. But I got one special prayer request. It concerns Marie. So y'all be praying for Marie. We'll let you know more about it later, but for right now, just be saying a special prayer for Marie. Okay, Marie, that's all I've got for today. You got anything else?
No, I've just about said it all.
Okay.
Said too much, probably.
Okay, we love each and every one of you. We appreciate you watching our channel. We appreciate you making comments, and between me and Marie both, we try to reply to every single comment that comes through. Sometimes if I'm tired or exhausted, or if we have a video that gets a lot of comments, I might be a little slower getting around to them, and I'll occasionally go through and just give everybody a heart.
But you do read it.
We read every one. Oh yeah, what I was going to say, there's nothing I love more than to read a comment and it just be so special. And Marie, she might be in a different room or wherever, and I'll take my phone to her and I say, Marie, you got to read this one. This is just so special. And I enjoy doing that, don't you, Marie? And I think Marie enjoys reading them too.
Right.
Okay. We have talked. I don't know how long this video ended up being, but like I said, we appreciate you watching. Y'all have a great weekend. We do have some videos planned for this coming week, but we haven't made any of them yet. So we got to get busy and make some videos for this coming week.
Right.
So y'all just be watching for them. Like I said, we appreciate you watching. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you on the next video.
And y'all do what you love and love what you do. And like Calvin says, we'll see you on the next video. We're probably going to be staying in today because it's a rainy day here in Georgia. Bye.
I stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling. Said I love you forever. We can make it together. What goes up must come down. There's lots of friendly faces all around, and